Hello everybody and welcome to Green Star Trading with me Tom. All views, opinions and ideas expressed in this video are my own and do not constitute financial or trading advice in any way. It's 10 past 11 AM on Saturday the 13th of March 2021. Right, first things first, if you hear a bunch of knocking and banging and scraping going on, that's because we've got renovations going on next door, so just going to have to put up with that during this video, but no big deal. Right then, so Bitcoin, that's what we're going to be covering for the next few minutes. So we've just broken through to new highs. So essentially we're going to have to update the count in this video, and we're going to do that in this video while I'm doing my analysis. And we're going to look at the two options we've got essentially. And basically we're either looking at a new impulse wave to the upside in a fifth wave, or we're looking at an expanding flat ABC. Previous count of a WXY more complex correction I think has been disproven. Now we have to discount it for the meantime, but that's the Elliott wave count, and we know, as we always do on this channel, we do our basic analysis first and our Elliott wave analysis second. So first things first, quick rundown of the chart in case you're new here. We've got our Elliott wave count, which is all the numbers and letters on the chart. Let's just clear that out of the way. We are on the weekly time frame and we're going to shift into log scale. There we go, so we can see a bit more clearly. We have 4 exponential moving averages on the chart, 10 in yellow, 20 in blue, 60 in orange, 250 in green. We have a volume profile on the right hand side here. This is a visible range and adjusts when we adjust the chart. It has a built-in point of control, which is the yellow dashed line here, showing the peak of both buy and sell volume. We have an RSI set to a 10 close, with a green 30 level representing oversold and a red 70 level representing overbought. We have a MACD with a 10 for the short term moving average, 20 for the long, and a 9 to smooth. Right then, what can we see? Well, very bullish week. Of course, it's the weekend, so we can see how we've just broken through to new highs in Bitcoin, continuing to push higher. So this is just, fundamentally this just looks bullish. We've come into overbought conditions on the weekly time frame. We've come down, back up, come down, back up into overbought again. We do have this divergence building up of lower highs in the RSI, high, lower high, lower high, and again, well, we've got high, higher high, and higher high in price. So there is bearish divergence building up. However, this can disappear if we come back up in the RSI into more overbought conditions and we clear this peak here at 89.45. Then we can't really call this divergence anymore, and if we come over higher up to 96 again, then it cancels out completely. And we know from history, when we look at sustained periods in overbought conditions, I mean, look at this stretch all the way back from May 2016, we went into overbought, back to neutral, overbought, back to neutral, overbought, back to neutral, overbought, and we just kept swinging. Now that was the long bull market, well, I say long, couple of years bull market to the peak in end of 2017, start of 2018. So we came back up for a short time. So if you look, we did that here as well in the 2013 to 2014 bull market. You saw 3 big peaks here, several peaks here in this bull market. We may have just started the same sequence. So we may be going peak, neutral, peak, neutral, peak, neutral, and continue to just put more and more waves to the upside. So fundamentally just looking bullish. We're above the 10, 20, 60 and 250 moving averages still on the weekly time frame. MACD is still bullish. Short-term moving average once again curving up and accelerating away from a longer term moving average, with another bright green bar on the histogram here showing another return of bullish momentum. So on the weekly time frame, we have to be mindful that there is still bearish divergence for the moment. This could still be part of a corrective pattern before a greater move lower, but we can't call that until we see a pivot at the top here, and then we can start to see the breakdown in price. At the moment, we're still bullish, so let's come down to the daily time frame and see what we can see. Above the 10, 20, 60, 250 here as well, like I said, having put in a new high. Came down to the bottom of the neutral zone between 40 and 60, did not find oversold conditions on the daily time frame on the RSI, and the same movement on the weekly time frame we see on the large scale, we can see on the shorter time frame on the day, overbought, neutral, overbought, neutral, overbought, and so on and so forth. So we have got that same bearish divergence between the high here on the 8th of Jan, the high here of the 21st of Feb, and the high today, which is the 13th of March. We can see that we've got a high, a lower high, and a lower high in the RSI, while we've got high, higher high, and higher high in price. So we are still losing bullish momentum on the daily and weekly time frame so potentially nearing a top. But like I said, this divergence can disappear, and these divergences can last a long time while the price goes higher. So, but we do see the same in the MACD between high and lower high here. Green bars on the histogram here, but still a sign of bullish momentum dying off a little bit, even though price is continuing higher. So that's a basic analysis. Let's look at our Elliott wave now. So we know how we've got up here. If you don't, go and watch the previous video. I've covered it several times. I'm saying we're in a primary wave, completed a primary wave 3, are in a primary wave 4 correction, but we may have completed that primary wave 4 correction and be on our way to a new high. So we're going to come down to the hourly time frame here. We're going to zoom in on all the recent price action. We're going to full screen the chart, and we're going to talk about how I had this correction down in the meantime. Now, I had this down as a WXY into a W, an ABC into an X here. Now the reason I did that was because we had this ABC 3-wave move here. So I was taking this as a 3 into a W, a 3 here into an X, and then an ABC here into the intermediate time wave W. So ABC with a B triangle, and then a zigzag ABC higher, 5 waves in an A, 3 waves in a B, 5 waves in a C, completing our X. Now, that's no longer valid. So what we're going to do is we're now going to keep 2 counts, and we're going to make a copy of the chart. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of this recent count. We could keep that triangle, because I'm convinced that's a triangle. But if we're going to count it, we're just going to have to count it as a wave 4 rather than a B wave. So we need to rejig the count here to fit. And then we're going to make a copy and run up our impulse wave, breaking to a new high to show that we're breaking to a new. We're going off into a 5th wave. That's going to be our 2 options. So let's just make some space here and clear things up a bit live, so you can just get an idea of what I'm thinking. So WXY is gone. So if let's deal with the corrective idea first, because everyone's running away with themselves that that we've gone for new highs and now we're just going to the moon. That could be the case, and we will look at an impulse wave idea in a moment. But let's just keep the possibility that this is just an expanding flat pattern. Okay, so in an expanding flat, the first thing we're going to have to do, primary wave time frame here, primary wave 3, so we'd have to say intermediate time frame A, B, C, okay, into an expanding flat. That would be the basis of our correction, assuming that it's null over, that we're simply putting in a high, a higher high, and then going lower again. So this would be, the bearish idea for the short term. So we would then have to label this a 3-wave structure. So we can't call this pivot the 3-wave structure. We've got to call this pivot to here, our ABC. We've got to bring this down to minor time frame. And then we've got to do the same again going up for our B wave. So A, B, C, wherever it comes in. And then we're going to have 5 waves down, or we would anticipate once completing 5 waves down into a C. Okay. Now, how do we get this? This second wave's not an issue. I can leave this bare for the moment to fill it in later. This wave is an issue because of this horrid pivot here. We have to count this as 5 waves whether we like it or not. So we're going to say 1, 2, big thrust down in a 3, really crazy drive back up in a 4th, and then the 5th down into the A, and that's the best we can do here. We can keep our proposed W, X, Y, X, Z on the minor time frame here. We could just call this a WXY. Maybe there's another count in here, but this still looks like a 3-wave, 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 and 3-wave structures. You can see them here, bunch of 3-wave structures. So I'm going to call that WXYZ for the B wave here, minor B. Then we've got to get a 1, let me think about this, a 1, 2 here, 3, 4 here, and a 5 into the C. And that's basically the best I can do at the moment, trying to accommodate this new high if we're going to remain corrective. This whole thing's easy to count as the WXY and then a new impulse wave. That's going to be our alternative count, which we'll make a copy of in a moment. Okay, so then running up from here, we can just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A, hunky dory. You guys are not really interested in sorting that out at the moment. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 somewhere up here. Okay, right, like that. We could probably figure out a count here. We've got 5 waves here in the 3, we've got 5 little waves here in the 1, 5 waves here in the 3, 1 wave, 3, expand, excuse me, running flat here in the 4th. Could call this the 4, and this is a 1, 2, 1, 2 into the 5th, but let's just assume that it's a flat pattern for a moment. 1, 2 here, 3, 4, 5 to come. Right, so let's save this as our primary for the moment. Right, so assuming this is correct, where can we stop? Right, so primary target, if we're looking for an expanding flat, can be pretty extreme, but let's say our initial target is 123.6, okay, which is 62,000. Oh, we're in log, aren't we? Let's have a look how we look here. Yeah, let's just flip into arithmetic scale for a moment, because we're dealing with we're not dealing with the long-term price action over a year or so. We're dealing with shorter-term price action. So into arithmetic scale now. 123.6 would be our first target for the B wave, right? So that's 61,903. 61,903. So let's just put some of these up. So price label 1 here, 61,845. That's close enough. Next target, really, you could stop at the 133.18. But you know, we're in the same ballpark at that point, which is 63,154. So let's call out the 1618 for the B. Okay, that would be 67,738 spot 15. Now the last extension for a B wave is 200% the length of the A. That's extreme though, that is. That's extreme for the B. And yeah, maybe in a primary 3 into a primary 4, big A, big B, big C, time consuming over multiple months, maybe it's a possibility, but we should not be looking up here for a wave B at the moment. We've got targets to think about in the short term. So there you go, 61,845 spot 17, 67,738 spot 15 for a potential B wave completion at either of these levels. There you go. Then we'd expect to see 5 waves down if we're correct, but that would be our bearish count. Another measurement we have to take is the ABC parity. I think we're already way past it, which supports the idea of a more bullish impulse wave count rather than a corrective count. But let's have a quick look. Yeah, so we've gone through 100 already. We've gone through 123.6. We've gone through 131.8. So really, the target up here at roughly the same area, right? The 123.6 coincides with the 161.8 extension of the A from the B. So that would be my next target. So let's just pop another label up here for the meantime. So there's strong, what's the word? Confluence here. We've got this level here. Let's just run that down from the top again. I want to see, yeah, so that coincides perfectly. The 123.6 coincides perfectly to 1618 extension. In log scale, what we're looking at, anything sticking out? Not really. Yeah, so these would be my series of targets if we're completing a B wave. If we get beyond this one here, 67,738, I would start to lose. I would lose confidence that this was an expanding flat. We're really pushing things if we go beyond there. Then we'd be coming down in 5 waves into a C. Right, that's done. So we'll save that there. Now let's talk about the impulse wave possibility, the bullish count. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to make a copy, and we're going to say Bitcoin 4th primary complete, so I don't confuse it with something else. Okay. So we've made a copy. We can save this separately. Obviously these targets now, we've already saved it as our primary, so we can just strip this down now, and then we can put in those impulse waves are valid, so I shouldn't have probably deleted that, but this is valid as a single ABC now, right? In fact, I would be happier sticking my initial WXY count on it. So what I'm going to do is leave that triangle there, leave this WXYZ there, get rid of this ABC, get rid of this impulse wave, get rid of this impulse wave, count this as an ABC, A, B, C, and then count this whole thing as a WXY on the intermediate time frame for primary wave 4, WXY. like that, and then I will count this as my initial idea, which is ABC as well. Okay, so 3 waves into a W, 3 waves into an X, 3 waves into a Y, triangle in the B, impulse wave out. So now it's just a case of, why did I do that? Excuse me. Right then, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that becomes 1. This becomes 2. Looking for 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, we need to bring this down to minute time frame. Okay, and then we need to leave this at intermediate. Then we need to bring in another minute time frame here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that could be a running flat rather than a 3, 4 here into a 5, but you know, we're doing an alternate count, so we might as well express the correction here differently than we did in the other one. It gives us a chance to look at something else later. So we need to come down one more time frame. 1, 2, expanding flat here by the looks of it on the smaller time frame. Bring this down to minute time frame. Now, bear with me, guys. I'm going to work out this count and spend some time on it, clearing it up. This is me literally just doing this off the top of my head. Right, there we go. So that's good enough to say Bitcoin 4th wave completion. Right, so 4th wave, 3, 4. So all we need to do is dig out where we put our primary, delete this retracement here, because we're being bullish, right? So here's the 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, no overlap. This could be extending. This could easily be extending into a 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, you know what? I think I like that more. Let's just have a look at the measurement here. So, target for a wave 3, assuming we've got a wave 1, 2 swing and low swing high here. We've got to look for the 1.618. So let's just do that. We know where there it is, right? It's over here where we're expecting our B to stop. So let's just stick our 3 up here for the moment. 4 to come on the minor time frame. 5 should clear it. So the 5th wave should clear where we'd expect the extreme of the B wave to be. This would be solid confirmation of a yeah, this does actually look like it could even be a triangle. Could it? A, B, C. No, it couldn't. It's a 3 wave correction there. So let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put our 3 up at the 1.618. Okay, so that would be a good place for the minor wave 3. Then we'd expect a 4 and 5. So let's just strip this down. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and then you can still, if you really want to, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can get a minuet wave in here for the 3rd minute wave, sub-minuet. Let's just put that in the purple that I use. Okay, so we've got a constructed count here. We've got a 1, got a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come in the 3rd at the 1.618. There's your bullish count, guys. And so the target we're looking for is the target we're looking for our wave 3 is the same target we're looking for our B wave top. Why am I putting the text in there, you pillock? Right, we want to get a price label, don't we? So there you go. There's the 2 counts I see that are still valid at the moment. Because of the structure, like I've expressed in several videos before, the structure here is a big mess. I hate this as a 3-4. I've said it multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. This counts as a 3 wave structure to me. So this counts as a 3, 3, 3. WXY completing here. Or we've got to force the A, B, C. Alright, forgive the pause. I'm just thinking. Okay, so, right. Assuming that my gut instinct is that I don't like this. I don't like this as anything other than a 3 wave swing. If that's the case, and I'm saying that I don't like it as a zigzag, then I've got to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt, because I can complete this correction here nicer than if I try to extend it out. However, here's the problem. This would be a primary wave 3 correction which happened in a couple of weeks. Right, when our primary wave 2 took like a year. The time comparison is very, very dodgy, and that's the one thing I'm not happy with. So perhaps We aren't in primary wave 3, we're in intermediate 3, and primary wave 3 has yet to arrive. I know that might aggravate some of you because I was saying, oh well, that was my original count with the primary wave 3 not in, but then I saw the 1.1618 and 2618 extensions get smashed by the price movement, so I figured that the 3 was here. It could still be, but this is just what we're having to deal with at the moment. It's just a bit tricky. You know, the old philosophy of the hodlers here, which I brought into this dip, never get the exact bottom because that's just the way it is, but you know, we got a pretty serious discount here, and I think for as long as the bullish momentum holds, a 26% sell-off turned out to be a pretty good buying opportunity. So if the hodlers keep buying the dips, they're going to keep getting rewarded for the meantime if this bullish count is right, because this is a wave 3 and this is a wave 4 complete. We've only just gotten started into our 5th and final wave up. So that's how I see it, guys. I'm sorry I can't be of much more help from you at the moment. Please go back and watch this video from earlier on. Remind yourselves of those targets. I just saved it here. So looking for a wave 3 somewhere around 62 grand. If this is correct, we should find our way free somewhere around 62,000. We could find it sooner. We do have a supported impulsive structure here. It is favouring the bulls because the length of the C is already getting stretched relative to the A inside of this 3-wave move here. So less likely to be 3-wave moves, more likely to be a 5-wave move going up. The bulls seem to have the upper hand. That's how I'd express it at the moment. So I'm leaning into the bullish count for the moment. But we have to keep in mind that bearish option, which is our original Bitcoin chart here that we've updated and changed to accommodate a flat correction of an expanding flat. So A, B, C to come. Targets at 61,845 for the C of the B, also at the 62,054, which is basically on top of it, and finally the extension at 67,738, which was the 161.8% extension of the A of the B projected from the A, and there are 3 targets essentially. Right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel and you did enjoy it, please subscribe, smash the like button, let us know what you think in the comment section below, and take care, guys. Take care, guys. I will be back with you shortly. Got several videos I want to get covered this weekend, so all the best. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.